This is Lee Selby, Lightning Lee Selby, and you're watching Boxing Domination.
It's Mohim for Boxing Domination, and I'm joined by Frankie Storey, making professional boxing debut, super bantamweight prospect. How are you, champ?
I'm all good, man. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good.
So talk to me. You just finished training.
Yeah.
Your manager and trainer is Tony Pill.
Of course, yeah.
Talk to me. How are you feeling about your pro debut?
Well, to be honest with you, it's been a long time coming. Probably be next year, early, I'd say, as soon as the crowds are back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been like 10 years in the amateurs. That's a long time since I was 11. And it's about time I start taking over the paid ranks, isn't it? So, yeah man.
And obviously, as you just mentioned, you've been an amateur for 10 years.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your amateur. Talk to me about how you got into boxing, what you into boxing.
Yeah.
And just tell me about some of the achievements, the fights you've had in your, career as an amateur. Yeah.
So I'm from Luton, and I started at a place called Farley Hill Boxing Club. So that's the estate that I'm from, and was boxing there since a schoolboy all the way through to a junior. Started when I was actually had my first fight when I was 11. Boxing at schoolboy championships, got to semi-finals in my first year in just 6 fights. Then I knew I had something in the bag then, got to junior level, was still going into the ABAs, but I never won them. I was just getting into good parts of the championships. Then the club had to shut because of rental issues. Yeah. So I had to move to another club then called Luton Academy, which is I think it's on New Bedford Road in Luton. Was there for about 4 or 5 years, trained by Lee Dagnall and a few other people that was at the club then. Then I went to Finchley after that. Probably spent 3 years at Finchley, 4 years at Luton Academy, then about 2 years, maybe a bit longer than that at Farley Hill. But I was boxing in and out when I was younger, and when I was at Finchley, I had a lot of opportunities then. I was getting trained by Sean Murphy, and he honestly took me to some great places. Like got taken to Mexico twice, and then I was under the Alliance Boxing. Then I wasn't part of England Boxing because of the split in the amateurs, and luckily I got picked to box for the WBC Amateurs, which is a program which basically allowed boys to box abroad under the Alliance. So boxed at featherweight then, and just done alright through that platform.
So you told me you boxed for the WBC Amateur tournament. You've obviously boxed under Sean Murphy as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Sean Murphy's got a long history of fights that he's had from amateur to pro. I think he's trained Anthony Joshua as an amateur as well.
Of course,
ABC. And a few fights I've seen inside there as well. Talk to me about some of the things that you've learned through boxing, to use in your daily life experiences. Yeah.
So an everyday thing is just to keep on going. You got to keep on punching. You got to keep on rolling with the shots. In life, I haven't been through the best of things. I'm only 21, but I've been through a lot of and the events that I've been through and seen. It's not often a 21-year-old goes through that, And from the bottom of my heart, it's the boxing's the thing that's kept me going, So I lost my mum last year, and for me, it's my dream is always to be a professional boxer. My dream is to, at first you think, professional boxer, you're gonna, it's the financial things that you go towards. But since being with Tony, he's like a mentor, not just as a trainer, but in life as well. He's when I come to the gym, it was always, how much does a boxer earn, or how much does what do I gain out of it? Tony's brought to me this new platform of it's about the titles and leaving a legacy behind, not just for me, but for my family. And in everyday day-to-day life, it just proves that you just got to keep going. It's all about longevity. You just got to keep on going towards your goals, and sooner or later you're going to get there. And that's what's happened. I'm in this position now. I never thought I was going to get to this position, because through my amateur career I've had times where I thought I want to just give up. I don't want to do this anymore. but you just got to keep on going with it. So in day-to-day life, you've got to think, right, boxing is how I've got here, and boxing is where it's going to take me on to bigger and better things. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know the last year and this year obviously has been very bad for
Of course.
Emotionally, and especially right now during the pandemic, so there's boxing on. And London's going to be going on Tier 3 very.
Of course.
So there's definitely not going to be any small hall shows anytime soon. What's it like for you right now, from transitioning from amateur to turning pro? What are some of the changes you're having to make as a fighter? In the amateur, it's based on how many punches of thrown. The more punches you throw, that's the way you win the fight.
Of course.
Whether in professional, is how many punches you land. So when it comes to your training, your sparring, what changes do you feel right now, and how are you coping with that?
Yeah, so as an amateur, everything it's more of a sprint and a marathon. You've only got 3 rounds, so everything's quick, everything's fast paced, and Tony's got. But when I come here, I was rapid. I'm for a 56 kilo boy. I'm a big puncher. I know that myself. I've proved it. My record proves it. I know I've got power. I know I can hurt people, but it's the controlling the aggression and slowing things down and picking your shots a lot more and more transferring the weight and getting my head moving rather than just steaming in bolt upright and trying to throw 100 punches at once. So the transition, it hasn't been as hard as I thought it was going to be. Like I'm starting into a good professional fight as it is now, but it's mainly just learning how to keep my shape and transfer of the weight to get them knockout blows at the right times rather than just loading up all the time and trying to look for them. Yeah.
And talking about you signing with Tony Pill.
Yeah.
How did the signing sort of come about? Did you approach him or did he approach you? So when did you sort of plan? Yeah, you know what? I want to take my boxing to the next level.
Yeah.
I want to go from amateur to actually getting paid.
Yeah.
To pro rankings. How did you and
So there's another boxer here called Chunky, Michael Devine. So he had he's been around the pro game for a long time, and he's from the same estate as me.
Former Southern Area champion.
That's it. Yeah. So and obviously the prize fight finalist, box John O'Carroll. So he's been around the game for a long time, and we're very good friends, family friends. Known him from the estate for a very long time, and he approached me and said, Frankie, why don't you try and come down to our gym it's a professional gym with professional lads. So took the opportunity to come down, obviously all in my amateur gear, thinking I was going to try and make it on that day. But Tony picked me up straight away. He said to me, you're a great kid, you're a great fighter, and you can go far. This is probably about 6 months ago. So we've been working together for a good solid 6 months now. And we've got to know each other, and we've built a relationship over the 6 months. And he sort of just said to me, look, do you want to do it? Do you want to turn professional or don't you? And obviously I was going to take it there and then and say, obviously I had a few words with my trainer Sean and my father as well, and just added up what's going to happen in the future, obviously with the pandemic and obviously my age. And I think it's just the right time for me now to just take the next step and come into the paid ranks, which has always been my dream, And Tony's made that happen for me. So, I've got a great team around me. I've got obviously Tony, Don Charles, all the other boxers in there. Obviously Chunky, Liam, Tom, all the big fighters in this gym. Obviously Florian, Marku's in there. So I'm surrounded by good people, and all I can see is stars. I'd say give me 3 years, I'll be British champion.
3 years.
3 years
That's
British
a
champion.
big challenge.
It's not. It's what's going to happen. Trust me.
Okay, we're definitely going to know that. Well, we'll say 3 years from the time you make pro debut.
That's a deal. That's a deal. Don't make me sweat. Yeah.
But yeah, so I do want to sort of ask this to you. Growing up, everyone has an idol in boxing.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone, but most people.
Yeah.
My idol was Mike Tyson. British boxing was David Haye.
Yeah.
Have you had that, while growing up, that maybe have changed or?
I think since coming to this gym, I'd say my idol. Got to be Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Ricky Hatton in terms of he's been through a lot of stuff, and he come out the other side good. You know, obviously massive puncher, great to the body. Same stamp as me, like quite small, stocky for his weight, and you know he's just a general lad. Like it's just the way he is. I just like everything about him, and that's where I see myself in a few years' time, like fighting the big fighters. Yeah.
Obviously, you know your last year has been very tough. So what was it like for you to overcome and use boxing to overcome sort of like the negative aspects that you've sort of been hit with? And what's sort of been like the mental side of boxing for you in the last about year or two? Yeah,
I'd probably just say it's the continuous training, and it's just the long. Like I said before, it's like longevity. It's like good things come to those who wait, and it should. I can't really explain what it is. It's just the boxing's kept me on a straight level. You know, I could. You know, I've had times where I thought, I just want to go crazy, like and leave home or just do. But it's the boxing that's just kept you on a straight. Really, I can't really explain it because it's it's just what we get out of it. It's just like the discipline and obviously the physical training every single day. So that's it. Like I can't really explain it. Yeah.
And like as you've obviously said, you've got some great guys in the gym.
Yeah.
The likes of Florian, Marku. Marku actually fought this weekend.
Yeah.
He actually fought. I think his name was Jamie Stewart. He beat McKenzie's son.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, he lost every round to Florian Marku and then the knockdown on top.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that fight? And obviously, as you know, in boxing, judges are always the worst in British boxing.
Yeah, of course.
So when it comes to that as well, do you picture yourself with any bad decisions in the near future? And how do you see that?
Of course.
Do you see that fight?
Listen, boxing is full of this politics. You know what I mean? It's full of. It's one of them things you just can't overcome it. You're just the fighter doing what you got to do. Like you've trained hard, you know what the game plan is, and obviously if you're winning the fight and in your head you know you've won, even if you've just won the fight, if you've won a fight, you might think to yourself, oh, like I actually lost it in your head, but you might have lost the fight and known that you've won it. Similar to what happened to Marku. Obviously it was a draw, but I thought he dominated the fight. I thought he done well.
Yeah.
Done what he usually does. Comes out nice and strong, and politics is always going to happen in boxing, man. You know what I mean? It's something that's never going to go away. So yeah.
And sort of right before we sort of just wrap up.
Yeah.
Do you want to sort of tell the audience about your social media, where to sort of find you? So
you can find me on Instagram at Fearless Frankie Storey. Yeah. And you can find me on Facebook, Frankie Storey, or Twitter at Frankie Storey. Yeah.
Alright, and that's an interview wrapped with future British champion, and we look forward to the statement that you said about 3 years to become a British champion. I'm guessing that's going to be a project to sort of.
No project. That's what's going to happen.
Project to British champion.
Yeah.
And that's the interview wrapped. Thank you very much.
Thank you.